Let's be clear. What you're saying is that masculine is synonymous with man and they're not mutually exclusive. So how about we learn definitions? Second.
Hold on. Having the qualities or appearance traditionally associated with men or boys. The male sex or gender is the masculine. Of denoting a gender of nouns and adjectives conventionally regarded as male.
Hey, what's poppin' YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl, it's just Alex with Kites.
How y'all doing?
So real quick, we gonna shuffle through the announcements. The Discord is open for those of you that want to join the Discord. The shop is up. Let us know if you want to see any different types of merch coming to the store and stuff like that. I do have anime merch coming to the store pretty soon that I'm working on. If there's anything else you guys would want, just let us know. Anime Reactions channel. Make sure you check out the Anime Reactions channel. We just dropped episode 1 of My Hero Academia.
Yep.
Trying to get consistent with that one, but like I said, that one is kind of hard to, you know, maneuver through for copyright purposes and stuff like that. Today we're going to be diving into Kendra G's single Live. I haven't watched her content, but I've heard of her. From my take, from what I've heard about her, is that she's kind of like the female Kevin Samuels. I know some of y'all ears will burn hearing that name because a lot of people weren't fond of Kevin Samuels, which I understand, but at the same time, you know.
And shout out to Coach King Rod. He's the one that suggested that we check out some of her stuff. He said, review some of Kendra G content. Since you guys are non-biased, I think it would be a good take. Also, shorter content would be easier to watch as well. Thanks for what you do. Hey, shout out to you. I thank you for putting this suggestion out there to us. Like I said, we're taking all the suggestions you guys put in the comments. We're taking it seriously because we wanna become content creators that you guys feel like you guys can be comfortable to ask us to check out something. That way, in case you guys are conflicted on or have like, you know, you want a married couple's opinion about it. So
even though we don't know everything.
We don't know everything.
We don't know everything.
All right, so this is us going in completely blind. I don't know nothing about this lady. I've never seen her content. I'm gonna make sure I give, well, we always give proper credit when we do. So shout out to her. Like we do in every video, when we check out new channels, I'm gonna subscribe to her, notifications on, I'm gonna give her a like. And so let's see what this Kendra G is all about. Let's see what the situation is. The video is she's more masculine than feminine, not submissive, no men with kids or want kids, and believes in science.
Oh, Lord.
So,
okay. I know science, but you know.
All right, let's hear it.
Girl.
You ready?
I'm ready. Hey.
Hey, what's your name, babe?
I'm Harley.
Harley. Harley, how old are you?
31.
31. What do you do for a living?
I work in mental health.
Oh,
mental
okay.
health?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any kids?
She has a pretty smile.
Absolutely not.
No kids. Where are you calling me from? Like, where do you live?
I stay in LA, but I'm from New York.
Okay. You ever been married?
No, ma'am.
No. And what do you, okay, so Harley, what's your zodiac sign?
So is she
no. Dang, Kendra, you just lost me.
But, so is she like matchmaking?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. This is truly blind. I don't know this lady. So she's matchmaking.
Yeah, like Kevin Samuels. He did the same thing.
Right. And so when they say like, oh, she's like Kevin Samuels, is she essentially explaining to people like, this is why you're not getting this type?
Yeah, she does a full breakdown and everything. She's, in my opinion, from what people have, I've only read comments about her.
Okay.
I haven't seen her content full on, but even just like this whole setup and layout, it feels like Kevin Samuels, which there's nothing wrong with that. And she's not like biased about it. She's fair on both sides.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. All right, we're gonna jump into it.
She's but they're both pretty women.
No, for sure. Yeah.
I'm a Pisces.
Pisces. So we got Harley, LA, 31, Pisces. She works in mental health, no kids. What kind of man you looking for, boo?
Okay, so I am looking for someone who is considerate, someone thoughtful, someone who can communicate their needs,
Okay.
Someone who's not avoidant of depth, not averse to depth, not overwhelmed by substance. Somebody who is not avoidant of conflict. I notice a lot of people get a little skittish when it comes to confronting conflict. Someone who is honest, trustworthy, kind, sweet, reliable, a person of their word for sure, and someone with a high emotional intelligence.
Okay. What's your deal breaker?
That was a lot to unpack. I think if she can find somebody that has all those qualities, that seems like a very it seems like an ideal man that, you know.
Yes. However, if you don't have those attributes or qualities yourself, why are you asking it from somebody else?
Okay.
Not saying that she doesn't have them, but her like a lot of the problem that I have with these videos is that a lot of women will give like vague, generic answers, and later on you'll see that what they're asking for, they don't have those attributes or qualities themselves.
Right. I think that goes vice versa for sure. It goes to men and women.
Yeah.
Somebody with kids.
Okay, that's a deal breaker.
Someone who doesn't believe in science, so like an anti-vaxxer. Somebody who's right-wing, conservative, moderate. Anybody who's not liberal or left-wing is a deal breaker.
We throwing political parties in there.
That's probably it, I guess.
So if a man is not vaccinated, you don't want to date him?
Mostly no. I'm open to like hearing people's reasoning. If it's something that has to do with like, let's say maybe religion, or specifically if they're immunocompromised. So if they were to be vaccinated, they have a higher propensity for death or becoming sick, then I do that differently. But somebody who just like does not believe in science is a no for me. Somebody who wasn't vaccinated since a child, so then they would be likely to become sick if they were vaccinated now. That's different than someone who was vaccinated as a kid and now opts to not be vaccinated.
Right.
Okay.
Fair enough. Your position is your position, not trying to sway you in any way.
Okay. We have opinions about this, but due to the platform we are on, and we don't want to. I
just say do your research. Like, there's nothing wrong with being against vaccines. There's nothing wrong being for vaccines. I just say do your research on those vaccines, because health is wealth, and a lot of times big pharma and all these big corporations, they'll sell you a nice deal, but you're gonna be paying for it for the rest of your life.
Right.
Whether it be something small, it don't matter. Vaccine or not vaccine, it doesn't matter.
What I want you guys to do, if you guys have an opinion about this, go ahead and put it in there. And if you guys are really serious about what our views is on this, I say join the Discord and we can tell you there. I feel like on a video, because of how strict everything is, we are gonna keep it there, but just know God heals. That's all, we gonna leave it there.
But did you see the news article that came out last week that said that the increase of deaths, some have been linked to being vaccinated?
I haven't seen the news article, but I think also there's a lot of propaganda in general that tends to come out where if it's a point of controversy or contention or something new, that people tend to link it to that. And I think
that's fair.
People die from a lot of other reasons too. And again, I feel like because it's a newer thing, people are more inclined to link it to such, as opposed to a myriad of other factors that could play a role.
Okay,
fair enough. Your position is your position. Should the guy look a certain way?
Black. Okay. All shades of black. I would say, honestly, no lighter than Stephen Curry.
No lighter than Stephen Curry?
Yeah, it was pretty light. But all shades of black. I wouldn't say...
And that's not all shades.
Yeah, I was gonna say that,
that's
but
not all shades.
I was gonna say that, but I was just like,
there are men lighter than Steph Curry, and that's
they're
not
still
all
black.
shades of black.
Okay. But it's her preference. It's her
I want to be
preference.
specific. So like an American black man.
An American
Okay.
Or an Americanized black man. So it could be a black man who, let's say his family is from Jamaica, but he's been in America, you know, is born in America. So he has like duality in terms of alignment with his culture in Jamaica, but also American culture.
Okay.
That, or
Okay.
someone who's just born in America and their parents from America and, you know.
So westernized. You
Yeah.
want a
I have a
westernized black
question
man.
for you.
Okay.
Just Shay Talking said, even though we are out of the pandemic era, you still hold not being vaxxed against him, even if he's healthy, even if he's everything you are looking for.
That's a good question. And me being forthcoming, I'll say I've stopped asking, even though we are still technically in a pandemic, but it's just not talked about as often. I think because it's been normalized and the expectation, and we've kind of adapted to what the world is now.
Right.
Okay.
But also because I work in the healthcare field, that's also why I'm pretty adamant. But I'll say, and me being forthcoming, I've stopped asking people about it. If he wasn't vaccinated and if he is healthy and it's not due to not believing in science, then that's different. But if he's not vaccinated because he's just anti-vaccine, period, and not just COVID, but anti-all vaccines, then that's a deal breaker still. Because then he wouldn't be everything.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah, hopefully they get off this vaccine thing, because it's just like, I feel like no matter what, you can't, when it comes down to like dealing with things like belief, like religious belief and scientific belief, and are you pro-choice, pro-life, are you pro-vax, pro this? I feel like these are subjects that are
They're sensitive.
they're so sensitive, but people are so willing to, whether you're on any camp, they're so ready to stand by that camp regardless of what information comes out. It's almost like talking to a wall on either side.
It's hard to, because people are quick to respond instead of
Understand
and listening. And like I said, it's whatever. I'm open to listen to either party. It doesn't really matter to me, because you might gain something from the next, and then
or at least understand the reasoning.
Yeah,
the reasoning to why people are saying what they're saying. But yeah.
What was the last question I asked you? Okay, look, should he make a certain amount of money?
Largely no.
Okay.
I would just want him to have all of his own things. So like his own space, like living space. And even if that means he has roommates, but his own space, he can't be staying with his people. His own
It's
car,
her preference.
which I feel kind of is like a obvious, but you know, if you live in somewhere like New York, then you don't really need a car, and that's different. Because before I moved to LA, I was actually staying in Oakland for like 3 years, and then I lived in New York for about 6 years. So I like to move around a lot. But somebody with his own stuff, somebody who's independent. But if I had to put a number, I'd say $70K and up.
Okay, 7.
That's how you go when she said it doesn't matter if he's sharing an apartment with somebody. What made you at that?
It's a contradiction, because it's just like he could share. He got roommates, but he can't live with his peoples.
Oh, she said that she didn't want him to live with his peoples?
Yeah, he can have roommates, but if he's living with his peoples, then no. It's the same thing.
Right, I'm gonna play it back. Before I talk on it, I want to make sure that's what she said, just so I don't.
Yes, but you know, if you live in somewhere like New York, with his own space.
Okay.
Largely no. I would just want him to have all of his own things. So like his own space, like living space. And even if that means he has roommates, but his own space, he can't be staying with his people.
Okay, I get what she means now.
She can't be staying with his people.
His own car, which I feel kind of is like a obvious, but you know, if you live in somewhere like New York, then you don't really need a car, and that's different. Because before I moved to LA, I was actually staying in Oakland for like 3 years, and then I lived in New York for about 6 years. So I like to move around a lot. But somebody with his own stuff, somebody who's independent. But if I had to put a number, I'd say $70K and up.
Okay, I think I know what she means now.
Yeah. I had to hear it again too, because I'm like, okay.
There is a difference when you have roommates versus when you stay with your peoples. Because when you stay with your peoples, it's one or two things. You're either renting from your peoples or you're freeloading off your peoples.
Right.
So I get that.
Right.
Okay, 70K and up. What is the age range you would date? You're 31.
I would say 29 to 38.
Okay. Should he be in LA?
Preferably. If not, state of California is cool.
Okay. Harley, let's do the Kendra Cam.
Okay.
Dang.
Oh, she makes them.
Yeah.
Okay, looks like you're in good shape.
Oh, hold on. So you can see my legs. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you like that. You have a cute
Oh,
shape.
so she makes them have to show the body
We see
off.
Harley,
Okay.
Hey,
Look at the dog.
Do you want kids one day?
No, ma'am.
You don't want kids?
No, ma'am.
Oh.
Okay. So
Not
did the guy
even.
have kids
No.
already?
No.
So
I would be looking for someone who doesn't have kids and doesn't want kids.
okay.
Like somebody who's more of either they could live without having kids, but not somebody who's like, absolutely, I want kids. So either you don't want them or you're okay with never having them.
Okay. And you don't want them to have kids already?
No, unless they're adults, but then his age would likely be higher than my range if that were the case.
Oof.
This has been a trend. A lot of women don't want kids anymore.
That's such a, because our whole purpose in this is religious talk. If y'all don't like religion, get out. But our whole purpose as being created is the purpose of man is to be fruitful and multiply. That is our whole entire purpose. The purpose of life is to create more life. That is the whole reason why life exists. And it's in nature. Look at, there is not a species of animals that does not have some way to reproduce, and being able to reproduce with something is not their focus. Lions do it. Aquatic life does it. Insects do it. Germs do it. It's all about creating more life. That's the only real reason life exists, is to create more life. So when it comes down to human beings and relationships and all that, I can understand some people just don't want kids. Maybe she doesn't want to go through labor, or she just doesn't like children in general. That's fine. But getting a man who has no kids and doesn't want kids, if that's what he wants, that's his preference. But a lot of men are not going to do that, because as men, we are instinctively told that we're the ones who continue the bloodline. We're the ones who continue the family tree. And so I know growing up with me, I was told, you know, get married, have a big family. You're your son's only son. I mean, your dad's only son. So if you don't have, or you don't create more kids, then essentially like it cuts off with you, because you don't spread the bloodline. Like you don't extend the bloodline. You get me? So I feel like, I don't want to speak for all people. I don't want to speak for every man on the planet, but I feel like that is kind of something that majority of men probably have that in mind, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. When was your last relationship?
3 years ago.
3 years ago. You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
I'll pass.
Okay. 3 flaws you have to work on.
Oh.
Anxiety. I think my anxiety kind of manifests in different ways. And so sometimes that can look like thought rumination about things that have happened already, or worries about things in the future. Also kind of a control freak in a sense. Not control as in like controlling of another person, but control like I'm hyper independent. I'm used to things in my space being the way that it is.
Okay.
Any man who's looking for, and this is a deal breaker part, but any man who's looking for a woman who is quote unquote submissive, or will utilize the term submissive or feminine, or even the trio of feminine fit, that's a no. And it has to be a really progressive man. But flaws, so anxiety. I would say I can be perceived as really serious if you don't know me. Though I like to laugh a lot, but it has to be the type of humor that I'm into.
Ooh. There's a lot There's a lot of hoops. There's a lot of hoops to go through.
Mm-hmm.
Because, okay, if you say you struggle with anxiety, I know from experience of being married to somebody who also struggles with anxiety. Anxiety affects a lot of decision making, right? Can you agree that?
It can. Yes.
Okay. Well, with you, anxiety, I'll let you spill it. Or do you feel like your anxiety plays a big factor in decision making?
Yeah, but I think that's with anybody. I think that's with anybody.
Right. So with that, if you're gonna have struggling, like something that's gonna affect decision making, and you're a couple, then is it not the job of a couple that when there's decisions that I can't seem to find a conclusion to, but you can find a conclusion to, doesn't it make more sense for me to co-sign or sign up with the decision that you've made?
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in this situation, she's saying that she doesn't want a man that wants somebody to be feminine and she's not submissive. So if submissiveness is not something that you're going to be open to presenting in a relationship, what happens when your anxieties are at its all-time high and your partner and you are both in a situation where you guys have to make a decision? Because you won't submit to him in the decisions he's making. So what happens? That's what I'm curious on.
The third one, I would say I can be a little rigid sometimes with certain things. Like I'm very used to my routine. And so getting me out of that routine or getting me to try something new food-wise, I'll try like anything adventurous-wise, but food-wise,
So you don't want to try food that you're not familiar with?
Not necessarily that I'm not familiar with, but food if it's not aesthetically pleasing. Because there are some foods that I hear taste good, but I won't try it if I don't like how it looks.
Okay.
So it has to be a food
like
that looks appealing to me, or like an extension of a food that I already know that I like.
Okay.
And a man that desires a woman that is fit and feminine, if he says that, he's a turn off to you.
He can say fit, but I think the combination of fit, feminine, but it's specific more so to submissive, fit, feminine. Just because in my understanding, that's very much Kevin Samuels rhetoric, and usually that comes from a guy who's more on the misogynistic end of things. And I'm not looking.
I knew she was gonna try to go there with that. I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
It's preference. We cannot be mad at people's preferences, even though like we watch the pop the balloon stuff and all that kind of stuff. We have to like, and we'll get like frustrated with people because it's like, well, why wouldn't you pick this man? This blah blah. It's preference. That's their preference. It's annoying. It's irritating that people just they do what they do. But at the end of the day, that's their preference. I feel like men that want women that are feminine, fit, and submissive, that's their preference. They're entitled to have that. Just like women that want men that are non-dominant, breadwinners, and soft, they're entitled to have that. Because there's men out there like that for a reason. And there's women out there like that for a reason.
Right.
But to say that every man that wants a fit, feminine, and submissive woman is misogynistic is insane. That's insane.
And I feel like people, a lot of people don't really appreciate the fact that Kevin Samuels was trying to help more than people put off, right?
He did.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
Right? And it sucks because when you bring up Kevin Samuels now, there's a lot of people that only saw the exclusive highlights, the things that
made him went viral.
Yeah, the viral clips, and they demonize him. But when you watch, if you go back now, because his channel's still up, and you actually watch some of his older stuff where he was not only critiquing men and their behavior, he was critiquing women alongside of it. But a lot of the stuff he was actually pointing out is stuff that is in the dating market and stuff that is in the relationship market. And him saying, women, you need to be this, this, this. It's not because his goal is to shut women down and tell them that they're inadequate for wanting this, or they're not going to fit the mold. It's because the men you want, the men you say is the goal you want, this is the requirements that these men are looking for. So I'm just telling you, you want this, you got to be this.
It doesn't even matter if it's him telling. It has to be, in order for women or men to get it, it has to be a man telling a man, like, hey, bro, you got to do this. It has to be a woman telling a woman, hey, sis, you got to do this. Because interview the women that are with high value, high status, high caliber men.
Right.
They're going to tell you play the part.
Right.
Play the part.
True.
You got to play your role.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't want to do that. And I understand that, because if it's not genuinely you shouldn't have to fake it until you make it. But if this is what you want and this is what you're looking for, sometimes you got to bend a little to get a little.
Right.
So it's just, I don't know.
Okay. But, maybe Kendra about to school her or something. I don't know.
To be led by anybody. I'm not looking to be guided. I'm not looking to
Whoa.
Then you don't need a man, ma'am. You don't need a man at all. You can just stay by yourself, because as a man, they are supposed to lead. They are supposed to guide. And as a woman, you were supposed to assist with the lead and the guidance, not be the full dominant leader. You can't be the line leader. You can't.
And I just want everybody to know, I'm not making her say this. So I don't want to see she's only saying it because her husband is there.
Oh, God said it. Open up the Bible. Read it for yourself.
I don't got to force my wife to say nothing.
Samuel's rhetoric, and usually that comes from a guy who's more on the misogynistic end of things. And I'm not looking to be led by anybody. I'm not looking to be guided. I'm not looking to submit to anybody. I want to be a partner.
So any man, so let's take the words separately. If a man says he wants a submissive woman, you don't want to be with that man?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So if he wants to be with a fit woman, that wouldn't turn you off?
Right.
If he wanted to be with a feminine woman, that wouldn't turn you off? Or what does that turn?
It depends on how he would define feminine, only because specifically, I don't identify as being, I'm more aligned with my masculine energy than my feminine energy. And
oh, girl.
Woo!
Oh. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when you're with the man and when you're around a man, sometimes you gotta turn it off, or to cut it in half a little bit, because a man's not gonna want to be with a woman that's super hyper masculine. Because he might as well just be with a man.
He might as well be with a man.
Like, it's no shade. There's nothing against the women that are in that stage of their life where they're super masculine, because there's probably things they went through that
led to them being
and that's fine.
It's feminine, female, masculine, man. So male, right? If you are a female and you're more masculine, then what is two masculine things are not going to really
gonna butt heads. It's like two boars going at it.
Yeah, and even for relationships where it's a man and a man, there's a reason why one of those men, or they could rotate for all we know. One day he could be the big dog and the other day he could be the big dog. I don't know. I'm not there, so I can't tell you for sure. But what I have seen is, in most couples like that, there has always been somebody who was more feminine, and then there was always somebody who was more masculine. Yep. And that goes for even women in women relationships. Yep. There's a reason why we have one woman is wearing dresses and the other one's wearing a big t-shirt, some baggy jeans, and a snapback. It's because feminine energy needs masculine energy, because that's the way God created us, male and female. You have to have that perfect mix, because that's what creates a whole. That's like putting fire and water, right? Fire, water makes smoke. But if you take a fire and you throw it with another fire, it's just a bigger fire. Yeah. If you take water and you throw it in water, it's just more water. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you gotta mix these elements to make something. That's why we have oxygen. hydrogen, oxygen. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's just me being very forthcoming about it. And so when I hear feminine, I interpret that as like almost excessive softness. While I have, of course, feminine qualities and I can be nurturing and supportive and loving, I don't subscribe to necessarily femininity. Though, of course, again, I have a mix of both, but I'm more aligned in my masculine energy than the feminine.
Okay, so with that being said, one would say that you need a beta male, a man that wouldn't mind you in the leading position. So do you think that's the type of man that would work best for you?
I don't think I necessarily subscribe to that, because a beta male, or by, I guess, definition of beta male, would mean that I didn't have to lead, even though I'm comfortable with leading. But I'm seeking more of a partner.
But you just said you don't want to be led. So
I don't want to be led. No.
So if you don't want to be led and you don't want him to be the leader, then who leads the relationship?
Is it not possible to just be partners?
No.
Because the way that I'm viewing it is the idea that you don't have to lead, I don't have to lead, or even taking turns in leading. But I guess I don't view it as leading. I view it as like we're both equals in it. And so I could decide I want to do this and you go along with that, and you decide, okay, well, I kind of want to do that, and then I could go along with that.
So you guys, let's talk about the money. So you split the bills equally too?
I'm okay with that.
Okay, is that the kind of situation you desire? So you'll be 50-50 on everything. Your 50-50 partnership relationship, 50-50 bills as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know you got some paid questions.
Oh, girl.
Okay. Okay, LII said, respectfully, are
That's not a question. LL.
Respectfully, are you a robot? Dang. All right, hold
you
on.
a robot?
Wouldn't be possible with the work that I do. I work with people on a day-to-day basis.
Ooh. Chance, she said, oh Lord, we got a feminist on our hands.
That part. Next.
Woo!
Oh, so she.
I'm gonna read it.
Wait. So wait. I'm in a time loop. Wait. So you are more comfortable with your masculine side, but you also now just accepted the title feminist. So you're a masculine feminist.
Because what is the whole objective of femininity? Feminism. What is the whole objective?
I don't even want to get into that because I don't got time for these sky blue colored hair people.
It makes sense why she's masculine. She's a masculine feminist.
Right.
It makes sense.
Ooh, man.
Okay, this one. Jihan Day said, health is wealth, but you're average in LA and you don't want kids. How is a man supposed to look past all the baddies in LA and select you?
I'm not responsible for your perception of me. You can perceive me to be average, and that's cool, but I don't want you anyway. So what we doing?
Oh.
He's not. He's saying, oh.
It.
Oh. He's not.
I think this is what the problem was with like the Kevin Samuels bits and stuff like that, because a lot of times people were taking things a little bit too personal. Like ignore the first half. How is a man supposed to look past all the baddies in LA and select you? Ignore the first half. Just answer that question.
And that's really how it goes. What makes you stand out more than this person? Because regardless, everybody in their mind believes that they're 10s, right? I can believe I'm a 10. She can believe she's a 10. The woman on screen can believe she's a 10. Everybody believes they're a 10. But here's the factor is, we all in our minds can be respective 10s. But when you look at it as a whole, if you put me in a room with somebody who has fairer skin, they're in shape and all that, on appearance, I may not be a 10 no more. In my mind, I think I'm a 10, but to the person who's looking at me and the other gentleman standing in the room, I might be a 4 and that gentleman might be an 8. But we both think we're 10s. Our personal opinion and views of ourselves are not going to be society's personal view of us as a whole. And that's the thing we need to separate when people ask these questions, is for you to sit there and ignore what he's saying. You're 30 and single. If you in your mind are a 10, then why is there a 10 walking around with nobody to scoop her up?
No, why is a 10 seeking?
Yeah, why is it
10?
Yeah, 10
you would already have a 10 with you.
Right, that's another point. 10s don't seek.
They get sought after.
Yeah, everybody wants a 10.
Yeah.
So if you were a 10 this whole time, why are you not being sought after?
Ooh, next. This one said, fellas, take notes. Just cause a girl looks good and speaks well don't mean a thing. This girl is crazy as the day is long.
You're entitled to your perception. Like,
It's perception.
and that person wasn't even specific on what they would identify as crazy. But there are a lot of cousins and people that watch that I don't align with in any way, shape, or form. So again,
Not the ones for you anyways. Pharaoh Kingdom said, all these demands, but won't give the man a legacy. Good luck.
that part.
And like I said, there are men out there
that don't
want kids, or there are men out there that unfortunately cannot have kids, and that may work out for her. But typically, the majority of men would prefer a woman that would be able to help him create a legacy.
the man I want would foresee legacy as not just in a human form, but he could create his own legacy through business or otherwise.
Who he gonna pass it down
You gotta
to?
come back for everything y'all saying. Chance the Chief said, people change after marriage. If your husband's views or beliefs change after time, would you divorce him?
Well, I guess it depends on the view or belief change. Like, is this a core change, like part of identity? Or is this like, because I subscribe to people evolving over time too, just like he'll change over time, so will I. And so I would anticipate, well, one, I don't view like a marriage or relationship or otherwise ending as fault of either party. I view it as simple incompatibility. So like I could be compatible with this person right now with who I am now and who they are right now. And then later in time, maybe we aren't compatible anymore.
Whoa.
You don't need to be married. You don't need to be married.
You know what? It's almost like she views relationships and marriage like builder blocks. And it's like, I can have a square red block and a square blue block. And today they click together. But then one day the square red block says, you know, I've always wanted to be a triangle. So he can just become a triangle block. And then she goes, well, I guess we don't fit no more. Hey, it's been fun. And then just break apart and then go, you know, I wanted to be a triangle too. Hey, let's do it again. It's just like, no, like.
There was this clip of, it was like an Instagram reel that I had saw, and it was like 2 origami pieces, and they kept trying to work things out together, even though they didn't like physically fit. And so over time in the reel, one origami piece will cut a piece off to make themselves fit a little bit closer. Then another piece of the origami will cut that piece off to make them fit a little bit closer. You're gonna constantly be changing and evolving throughout your marriage and your relationship. Y'all aren't meant to be like this all the time. Yeah. Because sometimes you're gonna be like this, sometimes you're gonna be like this, sometimes you're gonna be like this. But the ultimately, as long as you're finding your way back to be this, that's fine. Yeah. But if you can't subscribe to change and not being able to fit in each other's mold in that time or that season of your marriage, you don't need to be married.
Yeah,
you don't need to be married.
To sit there and have the ideology that, you know, there's a time for us to be together, and then there's a time where we're just not gonna. It's like, whoa, like, no, bro. Let's chill out, man.
Compatibility. So like I could be compatible with this person right now with who I am now and who they are right now. And then later in time, maybe we aren't compatible anymore. But I don't take it as a failure on my part or their part. So, but to your question, I guess it depends on the beliefs or views that change.
Okay. Okay, we did that one. This one also says she need to date a politician respectfully. Okay. Coach King Rod said,
hey,
it's funny how—
Bro!
Hey, bro, that's crazy.
Her reaction change was insane.
Hey, shout out to Coach King Rod again. Hey, man, now you in the video. You in the video twice, brother. I see. Hey, man. Let's see how Coach King Rod was cooking up, though. Shout out to him. It's funny how liberals believe they are the gatekeepers of science. Science does not have a political disposition. The truth has no agenda.
Hey!
He's spitting. I don't claim to any political ideal at all, because honestly, I feel like politics has gotten so far from what it was intended to be. Left don't mean left no more. Right don't mean right no more. Left can be up and down and sides and blah, blah, blah. And if you hate this today, you love it tomorrow. And if you love this today, you hate it tomorrow. And your neighbor's not your neighbor. There's your cousin. They're not your cousin no more. They're legally your... It's just like politics has gone so crazy.
I don't even think they understand what's going on.
Yeah. And it's like, if I agree to... And the problem I have with politics is the second I agree to... one thing that I like,
they subscribe you to one whole party.
It's like
you believe in no abortion. Oh, you're this.
Yeah, it's like, no, I just don't agree with this part. It's like, even now as a Christian, oh, you're a Christian, so you're immediately right wing. It's like, or what is it like? I don't even know the wings. But you see what I'm saying? But as soon as we, as soon as I say like, oh, you're a Christian, okay, so you're anti-LGBT, you're anti-rainbow, you don't believe in this, you believe in all this, and you're all this, and it's like, bro, why I gotta be attached to so many things off of just one opinion?
They be so, people are so ignorant too. They're so ignorant, because it's like, nah, you don't even have to do all that. I have relatives that are part of that community. I have a mother that's part of that community. Like, it's just.
Yeah, it's nothing against the community. It's just my Bible, I love y'all. I just view it as something that you just don't see it. And one day God gonna open the eyes to everybody.
Now liberals believe they are the gatekeepers of science. Science does not have a political disposition. The truth has no agenda.
I don't know that I brought up politics at all. I think all I said was liberal, and if you want me to specify, I can. So when I say liberal, I don't mean under necessarily Democratic Party or otherwise. I mean a person who's progressive in belief. So that means, and these are deal breakers. Somebody who's not homophobic, transphobic, xenophobic, any of that. So someone left wing.
Well, this one.
Wait, but then isn't that politics?
Yes.
So she said.
It is, and it's not, and it shouldn't be intended to be a part of politics, because somebody's sexual preference, what does that have to do with politics?
True.
What does it have to do? Is it gonna change? Is it gonna change how freaking Gavin Newsom is making everybody, they taxing everybody for electric vehicles because you choose to be with a man? what does that have to do with what's going on right now?
That's what I felt like. Politics should have stayed away from. It should have been more focused on things that affect
the state,
the economy,
the country.
It should never be stuff that affects
your personal life.
Yeah, I think the line that politics should be stopped at is you shouldn't kill people and you shouldn't violate people's rights, but the rights that we have set as a standard in everything should stay the same. We shouldn't be altering altering all these things.
Right.
Someone agrees with you on something you said, so I definitely want to bring them on. Infoco said, it is possible to be partners and both can lead. That does not make a man a beta. Okay. So this person agrees with you and says that is possible. All right.
Yeah, y'all can take turns to some degree.
I asked you your last relationship.
Yep.
And
you asked me flaws, and then I don't know if we went after.
Okay, I think I went to the questions. Why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
So I am somebody who's dynamic. I'm well-rounded. I'm intelligent. I'm kind. I'm compassionate. I'm supportive. I'm loving. I'm audacious in all of the best ways. I'm certain of myself. I'm confident. I'm honest. I'm very direct. I'm not misleading in any way, shape, or form. I'm very straightforward. I'm reciprocal. So I believe in...
Whoa!
That was not the adjective I was
You're
looking for.
reciprocal, but you won't date anybody who is not left wing. So you're reciprocal to things that you like.
Yes.
In the realm of things that you like.
Yes.
Because if he has a different political opinion than you, then you don't like it and you're not reciprocal to it and you don't want no parts of it. So you're subjectively reciprocal.
Yep.
Okay.
Shape or form. I'm very straightforward. I'm reciprocal. So I believe in giving back what I receive twofold in that regard. I'm effective in my communication. I confront issues, and I am someone who believes in the issue and relationships being the issue and not my partner being the issue. So I'm all about being a team to combat that issue. I'm well-spoken / articulate. I have a vast vernacular. I am loyal, and I'm a good person, I think, at the end of the day. And I'm someone who I've recognized as an anomaly in the sense that I'm still somebody out here who's open to depth with people. Like, I don't enjoy surface level conversations. I enjoy really getting to know somebody for who they are as a person and going forward with that. I'm also not a person who ghosts people. I don't believe in ghosting unless it's a circumstance where, let's say, it's emotionally unsafe to be direct about it or physically unsafe to do that. But aside from that, I'm a relatively compassionate and understanding individual. So people can disagree with whatever my politics or my beliefs or otherwise, and that's cool, and they're just not the people for me. I don't take that as a personal thing against me. I'm well adjusted in who I am, and I'm super self-reliant.
Okay. Self-reliant as in you can rely on yourself.
100%.
Yeah. So I think your challenge is going to be just finding one person that has all of your non-negotiables, right? It's one thing to have because basically some of your non-negotiables that I heard is you like a person that was vaccinated, a person, ideally a person for you that does not have kids nor wants kids, a man who does not want a submissive woman, a man that's willing to be a partnership. You had a couple other things. So it's like, let's say you find a guy that doesn't want kids, but he's vaccinated. That's how you find the guy who's been vaccinated, but he got kids. It's like, I think your challenge is gonna be to find this one human being that literally has all your non-negotiables. I think you can find your non-negotiables, but it's just gonna be finding one human being that has all of them.
That's why I said the dating game should go to because the way I see it is like it's a pool of people, right? It's like a big circle. And she's like, I want a man who is vaccinated and he doesn't want kids or have kids. And he's left wing and he doesn't want somebody who's submissive, and he's perfectly fine with a masculine woman. And he doesn't want to lead, or I don't have to lead either. And it's like your circle's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And then you also, to top it off, I would prefer somebody who's in LA or in California. So now you've just like, you took so many millions out of your potential daters or suitors. And then it's like, this is why you're single. It's not because there's not a person on this planet that can meet these standards, because I believe that there is somebody who is like that. But let's keep it a stack. You're not the only person that has these standards on this planet. You have competition because there's another woman who probably wants the exact same thing you do. And the thing is, you have obliterated your chances of finding a match so crazily. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible, but you got to look at how hard you've made it for yourself.
And I think with that, I'm very comfortable with myself. So I'm not willing to, certain things I'm not willing to bend on. Like,
oh my gosh, she's got more things? Let me sit up. Dang, bro. You got more things that you have requirements on?
Vaccination thing, that is a strong preference. And again, it goes back to just whether they believe in science or not. But then their reasoning for not being vaccinated, specifically COVID vaccinated. Now, if it's the other ones, that's a deal breaker 100%. But if it's specifically COVID, then that's a conversation. But aside from that, I think it's just certain things there's some wiggle room for. And so I'm not an unreasonable person. Like, there are some things that I'll bend on, and other things I'm like, absolutely not. Like the kids is absolutely not a thing for me, just because I feel it doesn't align with the life that I want for myself. And if there's somebody who I meet and that, you know, that's what they foresee for themselves and that's really important, I love that for them and I want them to have that.
It seems to me that your perspective on life,
it's about you and you alone.
Yeah, it seems like it's all about her. It seems like everything is to cater to her. Everything is about how she wants it, how she wants to view it, how she wants to, you know, it seems like it's a very, if she's playing a video game, she's playing single player. And there is no player 2. It's just you get to be the character that she can swap with, but you're not like, you feel me?
It's that thing where people are, she's subscribing to that happy wife, happy life mentality. But what people need to do is they need to get that out of their heads and subscribe to happy spouse, loving house. Like, both of y'all got to be happy in, you know, in the way that y'all want to go in order for y'all to even.
And my thing is, you've done a lot of talking about what you want and how you want it and all this, but you got to look to a suitor. What are you going to do for me? Like, what makes you the partner that when I get you, where are the benefits that I get for choosing you? Because
just give them to you.
Besides, I mean, everybody can say loyalty. Everybody can
have a nice vernacular.
Yeah, what is your
good? I look good.
Yeah, what is your vernacular gonna do if I'm depressed? What is your education going? What is your education going to do if we both can't find jobs in the economy? Yeah, you're educated, but you got a degree and all this. Like, what if we're both down? If my dog gets killed, what does you having an intellectual conversation? How is that going to help me emotionally? Like, it's a lot of, it just sounds like she has not been taught that relationships is what you can do for the other person. People that go into relationships saying, I want it this way, it needs to be this way. Yeah, me, I, this. And then you want somebody to just fill it in. They don't realize that, yeah, okay, this person changed and molded themselves to meet what you want. But what are they getting out of it? Well, they get me. Well, what is that? You know?
They won't have it with me, but I would love them to have that with the person they can have that with, respectfully. And like, there's nothing wrong with it. So I think we've now cultivated a world where there are people, increasingly more people, who don't want kids or don't see the value in having kids, or who still really want kids, or are like hit or miss, whatever.
Yep,
it's true.
Yep, we have created that world. And you want to know the place that has that? Japan. And you know what Japan's going through right now? A birthing crisis.
They're paying people to have children now.
Yep,
in Japan.
because everybody wants this independent type of thing. Nobody wants to socialize. Nobody wants to break their bubble. Nobody wants to adjust their standards. And now they're having more people die than they having people birth. And guess what happens when you stop having kids to carry on what everything needs to happen in society? If nobody has kids, when you guys die, who picks up the mantle?
The generations are going to get smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
Basically.
And so I'm just somebody who just strongly does not want kids.
Okay. No, fair enough. We got some more paid questions. Do you want them?
Yes, ma'am. Go for it.
Okay. I'm gonna let you decide. Let me try to vet some of them first. Hendrik said, so you want a man that doesn't want kids, wants a woman who acts like a man, but you disagreed when Kendra said you want a beta. LOL, you don't know what you're talking about. You want a gay bi man.
Let's be clear. What you're saying is that masculine is synonymous with man and they're not mutually exclusive. So how about we learn definitions? Second.
Hold on. Having qualities or appearance traditionally associated with men or boys. The male sex or gender is the masculine. Of denoting a gender of nouns and adjectives conventionally regarded as male.
look up what is a masculine female.
Masculine or manly women are female-bodied individuals who possess the qualities that are perceived to be masculine. These women are masculine in appearance, have masculine interests, prefer the company of men, or perform masculine tasks or jobs. Masculinity and femininity refer to an individual's gender in terms of maleness and femaleness, respectively. Gender roles are socially ascribed normative behaviors with respect to the given gender. Biological sex refers to an individual's reproductive organs as being male or female. But it seems, what was her statement?
Let's be clear. What you're saying is that masculine is synonymous with man and they're not mutually exclusive. So how about we learn definition?
Okay, let's look up synonymous. What does synonymous mean? Having the same or nearly the same meaning. Associated with men, conventionally regarded as male, the male sex or gender. So, well, let's look up what a man is, just to be, maybe I'm stupid. An adult male or human being distinguished from a woman, modifier masculine.
You see what happens when you talk big game. It's cute, like that man said. It's cute to have a woman that speaks very articulate, has a nice vernacular, this and blah blah blah. You just contradicted yourself.
The internet is free, people, and we just refuse to use it.
Don't let people with like high vocab. Don't let people with high vocabulary and all that kind of stuff stop you from looking words up or make you feel intimidated or inferior because they're talking like that. Like she just contradicted her own statement in the same sentence.
Is synonymous with man, and they're not mutually exclusive. So how about we learn definitions?
Mutually exclusive. Hold on, we're gonna break it down. I'm gonna break it down. Mutually exclusive meaning is being related such that it excludes or precludes the other.
You know.
And she's a mental health.
Yes.
Bro, it's like we said, we got lost people leading lost people.
Yes.
We have single people that give advice to single people on how to get in a relationship, but they all have unsuccessfully gotten a relationship.
Yeah.
That's like me. I'm a fat guy trying to tell another fat guy that he needs to change his life and get fit.
Secondly, as far as a bi man, I'm not opposed to dating a bi man because I'm a progressive woman, as I said. So either way, but no, it doesn't have to be a beta man because I want someone who also can be assertive and knows what they want too and has confidence too and is self-reliant too. So
what happens when this assertive person and this assertive person both have something that they don't want or do want? And you guys get to a crossroad where he wants to do option A and you want to do option B. If none of you are going to be leaders because you guys are equals, what happens? And the way you just broke down relationships, it sounds like I want to do A, you want to do B. Okay, we'll break up for today. Go do our thing. Hey man, are you done with A? Yeah, I'm done with A. Are you done with B? Yeah. Okay, we're back together again.
Somebody who's similar to me, quite frankly, and I'm okay with that. But again, everybody doesn't have to understand it, and that's cool.
Okay. Let's see. I'm not sure. I don't want to go too deep here, but I'll just ask it and we'll keep going. Shaniqua Headley said, "Do you believe in God?"
Oh, this is a good one. I am someone who identifies as agnostic. I don't actually subscribe to a specific religion.
It shows.
Okay.
It shows very well.
Ty said, I'm so glad to see a Black feminist on the show.
That's nice. Thank you, Ty.
Okay. All right. Well, the
Why is it that?
time has come. Let's do it, Harley. We put you to the fire enough. How can the guy reach out to you?
You can reach me on Instagram at Harleen Cute. So HarleneQutte.
Okay. Have you downloaded the Kendra G Singles dating app yet?
I have not, but I am in the process of doing so.
Okay. Download the app and also make a profile there. I am extending the grace, but everyone should download the app and set up their profile.
Okay. Kendra G, shout out to you. This video was
her own app. Dang.
Yeah, she doing it. Oh, woo! I feel every day I say it. I feel for men and women in the dating game because I feel like back in the medieval days, it was a lot easier for y'all to find matches for sure. Because men wanted to be men, women wanted to be women. And it was just that. But now men want to be women and women want to be men and men want to be man and women and women want to be man and woman. And it's just like, it's one of those things where you have too many options that you can't make a single option. I mean, you can't make a single choice. You know? So, I don't know the lady, so I'm not going to speak on her like that. I can only speak on what I hear. I don't know her, but I don't wish no ill will on her. Plus, at the end of the day, this is just our opinions. We are not saying we are the law. We are not saying we are the fact. We are not saying that our way of life is the way of life that everybody should have to do. So I have to put that disclaimer in there because knowing a lot of people, y'all will click on this video and do this whole spiel, blah, blah, blah. This is the problem with people trying to tell people how to. It's just an opinion, man.
Y'all y'all do what y'all want to do, but don't expect everybody to want to subscribe to your preferences or your delusion or whatever you got going on with yourself.
Yeah, shout out to Kendra G though. I can see why people would watch this.
Yeah. I
can see why people would watch it. So shout out to her. I expected her to do a lot more talking, Kendra. I expected her to be like, but it seems like she lets the person present themselves and then she just lets the person introduce themselves, speak for themselves, and then the comments do most of the. So, okay, this is cool. I would be down to watch more of this if people like this. So let us know, give us some feedback. All right, y'all.